3 months had passed since Goku disappeared. 3 months of searching, of desperation, of slowly losing hope. Vegeta stood alone in the hyperbolic time chamber, his aura blazing with ultra-ego. He had pushed himself beyond every limit, training for what felt like years within the chamber's distorted time. But no matter how strong he became, it couldn't fill the void left by Kakarot's absence. He powered down, breathing heavily. His reflection stared back at him from the polished floor. He looked tired, older, defeated. "Damn you, Kakarot," he whispered. "Damn you for making me care." Outside the chamber, Bulma was working frantically in her laboratory. Screens surrounded her, showing calculations and dimensional readings that would make most scientists' heads explode. She had been working non-stop, barely sleeping, trying to find any trace of Goku's energy signature across the multiverse. Trunks entered quietly, carrying a cup of coffee. "Mom, you need to rest." "I can't rest," Bulma snapped, her eyes bloodshot. "Not while Goku's out there somewhere. He saved our planet dozens of times. The least I can do is find him." But every scan came back empty. It was as if Goku had been erased from existence itself. At Capsule Corp, a meeting was taking place. All the Z fighters had gathered: Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, Android 18, Tien, Yamcha, and even Mr. Satan, who for once wasn't making jokes. Chi-Chi sat in the corner, her eyes red from crying. Goten stood beside her, trying to be strong, but failing. "It's been 3 months, Gohan said, his voice strained. "We've tried everything. The Dragon Balls, King Kai, even reaching out to Whis. Nothing works. It's like Dad just vanished from reality." "That's because he did," a voice said from the doorway. Everyone turned. Whis stood there, his usual cheerful expression replaced with something grave. Behind him, Beerus looked uncomfortable, almost worried. "Lord Beerus," Piccolo said sharply, "you've been avoiding us. What do you know?" Beerus sighed heavily. "Fine. I suppose you deserve the truth. Goku wasn't just taken to another dimension. He was sent to the Void Eternal." The room fell silent. "What's the Void Eternal?" Gohan asked. Whis stepped forward, his staff tapping gently on the ground. "It is a prison dimension created by Azrathor, an entity that existed before the current multiverse. It is a place where time, space, and even death have no meaning. Those sent there suffer endlessly, unable to die, unable to escape. It is the cruelest fate imaginable." Chi-Chi stood up, her voice breaking. "Then we have to get him out. There must be a way." Beerus shook his head. "Even if we could locate the void, which we cannot, entering it would be suicide. The dimension itself actively drains life force. Even I would struggle to survive there for more than a few hours." "Then what are we supposed to do?" Gohan roared. "Just accept that Kakarot is gone forever?" "No," Whis said quietly. "We prepare, because Azrathor's awakening is only the beginning. Right now, he is weak, recovering his strength. But when he fully manifests in our dimension, he will consume everything. The Earth, the universe, perhaps even all 12 universes." "Then we fight him," Piccolo said firmly. "We fight him together." Beerus laughed bitterly. "You don't understand. Azrathor isn't like the enemies you've faced before. He isn't like Frieza or Cell or even Jiren. He is a fundamental force of destruction. Fighting him would be like trying to fight the concept of entropy itself." "We've beaten the odds before," Gohan said, his eyes hardening. "We'll do it again." But even as he said it, he could see the doubt in everyone's eyes. Without Goku, could they really win? Meanwhile, in the Void Eternal, time passed differently. What had been 3 months on Earth had been decades for Goku. Decades of suffering, decades of fighting just to maintain his sanity. He had discovered that the void was not empty. It was populated with creatures from across countless realities, all trapped here, all suffering. Some had once been gods. Others had been demons. Some were warriors like him. All of them had eventually broken. But Goku refused to break. He had spent the first few years, or what felt like years, trying to escape through brute force. He pushed himself to Super Saiyan Blue evolved. Kaioken times 100. Every combination of power he could imagine. Nothing worked. The void simply absorbed it all. That's when he realized the truth. Power alone wouldn't save him here. He needed to change fundamentally, to adapt, to evolve in ways he never had before. The void was designed to feed on suffering, on despair, on negative emotions. So Goku did something that went against every instinct he had. He stopped fighting the void. Instead, he tried to understand it. He meditated for what felt like years, letting the darkness seep into him, learning its nature. The pain was excruciating. It felt like his soul was being torn apart and reconstructed constantly. But slowly, he began to sense something. The void had patterns, rhythms. It was alive in its own terrible way. And if it was alive, it could be mastered. The creatures trapped in the void watched in horror as Goku began to change. His aura, once bright and golden, started to take on darker hues. Purple, black. His eyes, once full of warmth and joy, became cold and calculating. One of the ancient creatures, a being that claimed to have once been a supreme Kai from a long-destroyed universe, approached him one day. "You're making a mistake," it said. "If you embrace the void, you will lose yourself." Goku looked at the creature. His voice was different now, harder. "I'm not embracing it. I'm conquering it." And that's when he felt it. The first breakthrough. His body erupted with energy, but it wasn't the warm, golden energy of Super Saiyan. This was something else. Something that made the very fabric of the void shudder. His hair remained black but began to emit a faint purple glow. His eyes turned purple with purple pupils. His aura crackled with both light and darkness, a fusion of opposites that shouldn't be possible. He had achieved his first new form, Saiyan of the Abyss. The transformation allowed him to exist in the void without being drained. More than that, it allowed him to draw power from the suffering around him, to turn the prison into a source of strength. The ancient creature stepped back in fear. "What have you become?" Goku flexed his hands, feeling the new power coursing through him. Something necessary. But even as he said it, he could feel something slipping away. His memories of Earth, of his friends, of his family. They felt distant now, like watching a life that belonged to someone else. He tried to hold on to Chi-Chi's face, but the image was blurry. Gohan's voice was becoming harder to remember. Even Vegeta's taunts seemed like echoes from another lifetime. The void was taking its toll not on his body, but on his soul, and Goku wasn't sure he could stop it. Back on Earth, strange phenomena began occurring. The sky would occasionally turn purple for a few seconds. People reported seeing shadows that moved on their own. Animals became aggressive without reason. Bulma's instruments detected massive energy spikes that appeared and disappeared in microseconds. They weren't coming from Earth. They were coming from somewhere else. Somewhere that shouldn't exist. "What is this?" she muttered, staring at the data. "It's like reality itself is tearing at the seams." She didn't know it yet, but she was detecting the echoes of Goku's transformations in the void. Each new form he achieved sent ripples through the dimensional barriers, weak signals that something impossible was happening. In the sacred world of the Kais, the Supreme Kai and Old Kai were having a frantic discussion. "The seal is completely broken," Old Kai said, his voice shaking. "Azrathor is almost fully restored. When he manifests completely, he'll begin consuming reality itself." "How long do we have?" Supreme Kai asked. "Days. Maybe a week. And without Goku, without Ultra Instinct, we have no chance of stopping him. Then what do we do?" Old Kai had no answer. For the first time in his incredibly long life, he had no answer. But in the Void Eternal, Goku was not giving up. With each passing moment, which felt like days, he pushed himself further. The Saiyan of the Abyss was just the beginning. He could feel more forms locked within him, waiting to be unleashed. He fought the creatures of the void, not to destroy them, but to test himself. Each battle taught him something new. Each moment of pain forged him into something stronger, something darker, something the universe had never seen before. And deep in the back of his mind, a single thought kept him going, kept him from losing himself completely. "I will return. I will protect them, no matter what I have to become." But the question remained. When he finally escaped, would the Earth celebrate the return of its hero? Or would they fear the monster he had become? The answer would shake the entire multiverse. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and tell me what you thought about Goku's new form. Stay tuned for more.